Hello and welcome back, everyone. Okay, so last time we covered if and else statements. This time we're going to cover something unique to Python. It's called Elif, which is just short for else if, which is common in other languages. But Python calls them Elif. So I'm going to start by making a new file, call it elifs.py, and I'm going to get started with coding. So first things first, I need to actually come up with a number to check things. So I'm going to just use mark, and I'm actually just basically borrowing the example from online. I'm only going to use one because I don't think I really need to use more than one. I'm going to check if the mark is less than 5. Print the letter F. So what I'm doing is elif mark less than 8. Print B, else print A. I'm just going to change those to single quotes just to keep it consistent, because honestly it bothers me a little bit. You don't have to do that. I'm going to save that. Okay, so now I have this mark. It's equal to 6. If it's less than 5, I get an F. Maybe it's out of 10. Maybe this quiz is out of 10 that I took. I only got 6. So F, B, and A. We know there's more than just these letters, but this will be enough to get the point across. Here's our first elif. Elif is else if. So first we check if. If the mark is less than 5, then print F. If it's not, normally we would just go straight to else. But because we have elif, it's going to go to that, and it's connected. So this is important. If it's connected, that means it checks this one next. And if this isn't true, then it goes on to else. Okay? If I run this now, I get B, because 6 is less than 8. Let's add, or let's modify this a little bit. If this is just if, and I had, let's say a 4, right? Because this is if and not if elif, it's going to check this condition. If it's true, it's going to run. And because this is an if statement, it's also going to check this. So when I run it, I get F and then B. So I'm getting 2 letters instead of 1, which is a problem because it really should be just F, not B. So this really needs to be an elif. There we go. So now if I run it again, it goes back to, well, it's just an F because it's connected now. It knows to skip these 2 if this is true. This is why elif's important. I'm going to show you another topic that's also important. I'm going to do elif mark less than 7, print C. So if the mark is less than 7, it should print C. And if I have this set to 6, realistically, if we understand the Ontario grading system, this should end up being about 60% if it's out of 10, assuming that. That means that we should get a C, not a B. So if I run this, well, 6 isn't less than 5. 6 is less than 7, so we should get C. But as you may recall, the code reads from top to bottom. So it reads the first line, sets mark to 6. Then it reads line 3. It sets mark to, or it checks to see if mark is less than 5, which is not. 6 is not less than 5. But is 6 less than 8? Yes, it is. And order matters, so it's going to print this, and it's going to skip the rest of the conditions here. It's going to skip the elif and the else because they're all elifs. If I just change them to ifs, I'll still get a C. However, it's going to print B as well, which is not what we want. We just want one letter. This is why order is important and using elifs is important. It's better to do this than to use a bunch of nested if statements. So be very careful if you choose to use nested if statements. I usually advise against using them. And that'll be enough for this lesson, but I strongly recommend you watch the debugger video next, because I'm going to show you how to go through this program using the debugger.